do. You know what? I ain't even gonna play along tonight, folks. I ain't even gonna play along to the theme song tonight because I'm so freaking pumped. Who else is freaking pumped? Because I'm freaking pumped, folks. Because here's the deal. Spent the whole week nurturing this beautiful stash back to its full form. Because I got sick of the thin shit, folks. Had to do the whole regimen, the coconut oil that I then sit in the sun, get it crispy, comb out the crispies, make it a little thicker. We all know, we saw the episode when I talked about it. I don't normally do recaps, but that is a recap that I will do, folks, because people need to know how we get the stash to be so luscious. It's luscious, folks. And I'm going to tell you this. Very excited for tonight's episode of How You Been, because I got a good old friend of mine coming up in a little bit. Junior year of college. This guy and I lived in just about the most... You'd look at the house that we lived in and you'd say, that's the place where a bunch of college dudes live. It was disgusting. That's how most people would describe it. They drive by and they say, there ain't no way I'm going in there. Looks like a shithole. But boy, oh boy, am I excited for you to meet Swinton Keller, my good buddy from college. He's going to be on in just a little bit. I can tell you right now, I think you're all going to really like Swinton. Right out of the gate, we got some gifted subs coming in. I'm going to go ahead and call them out as they come in. We got gifted sub from Patterson Music. We got a gifted sub from T-Mac13. Gifted sub from Bobby Hughes. T-Mac, what another gifted sub? No, these are the subs going to people, finally. But man, oh man, I'm feeling good this week. And you're probably out there saying, Brett, we've heard about what's been going on in trial. So you shouldn't be feeling good because it's seeming more and more like you're going to receive a pretty stiff sentence. And that's true, folks. But if you took every kick in the nuts as a kick in the nuts and not an opportunity to remember what it feels like to get kicked in the nuts, you'd be sad all the time. This trial is making me feel alive, folks. It's reminding me what it feels like to feel down, like the world's coming down on me. And we all know what happens the second that you get that feeling that the whole world's coming down on your shoulders. We all know what follows. A manic episode. So I just know that no matter how bad things can get, on the other side, something wild's going to happen, folks, because that's the way that the universe works. Oh, we got another gifted sub from Patterson Music. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the subs. Start doing it during the show. Because I feel bad I miss them at the end sometimes because I go back through and I don't see where things have come from. So I'm going to try to do them more. But as you all know, I've asked the sketch artists, all you sketch artists out there, to send in sketchings from the trial, and we've gotten a lot of them. So I'm gonna try to do a couple more today. We'll go ahead and get into it because I want to get through a few of them so that we can get my buddy Swinton on in a minute. So we'll just go ahead and jump into it here. So, so this first one that I'm going to show you guys, this is from the trial. This, of course, is when Pete Davidson took it, who is my attorney, or the prosecutor. He's done both jobs. I can't remember which capacity he was working in this specific thing. But he was on the podium. Is it a podium? What do we call it? He was on the podium doing a speech. And I was trying. So listen, I don't want to talk about it too much, but I'm starting a secondary podcast that's just for me. It's just me doing a podcast from the courtroom. And so I was recording an episode with my first guest live in the courtroom while the trial was happening. I'm trying to capitalize on the true crime fever in the world right now. So while Pete Davidson was doing his thing, I was recording my first episode of What's the Crime with Brett the Mott, which maybe someday, if I'm not a lazy piece of shit, I'll actually edit it and make it into a real thing. But for now, it's just a joke for this moment, or a thing that I'm using for this moment. And I just want to show you guys the moment that I was interviewing my first guest while Pete Davidson was doing arguments. And so here it comes, and there it is. So as you can see, this is me. Here, let's make it bigger. This is me interviewing my first guest, which, of course, as you can see, is a coyote. Because I wanted to get the thing straight from the coyote's mouth. How does this coyote feel about being compared to me? How does this coyote feel about, being demonized by all these people in the courtroom? They don't like this coyote. And I say, no, this coyote's good. So I got an interview with the coyote. It's great. Okay, we got some more. See, we got more gifted subs coming in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Patterson Music gifted some subs. Skinny gifted some subs as well. You can see, obviously, here, can you see it if I put my cursor over it? No, you can't because the way that I'm capturing it. But, of course, Pete Davidson is also advertising in the courtroom, which seems illegal. Just saying. Who knows? But anyway, I was very excited to record this first episode of Where's the Crime? Or What's the Crime? With Brett the Mott. And my first guest, a coyote. But that's a good one. That's a great one. That's a great joke. I mean thing. All right, we'll do one more here. Maybe two more. So this next one, let's see here. And this one's my mistake. I'll go ahead and I'll say it. This one was my mistake. I finally got a chance to testify again. And this one was my mistake. So I got called to the stand, and then I went up there, and then I accidentally gave all my testimony in the wrong direction. I was sitting in the back, not sure who to talk to. And I'll be honest with you, looking the judge in the eyes is scary. So I thought, wow, this is pretty good. This feels good for me. I could just kind of talk the way that I do this, where I'm talking at a computer screen. I can't see anybody's face. It's not a big deal. And so I just did the whole thing. Turns out I wasn't even looking at nobody. The stenographer couldn't hear anything because my mic, again, I brought my own mic, didn't plug it into anything. So that was stupid of me. So I had to go and I had to do the testimony all over again the next day. But that's a good one. That's good. That's fun. All right, I got so many of these. And the trial is almost over, so I can't keep doing this. So we'll do one more. And this one, I'll say this. This one, honestly, this was wrong of me. This was wrong of me. And I wish that I had not done this. I wish that I hadn't let my emotions run so high. Because as you'll see here, this is me looking exactly as I look. This is what I look like. This is exactly what I look like. This is me trying to say that I wasn't guilty by saying that Pete Davidson, this is who this is, I think it's Pete Davidson. Based on the eyes, I think that's Pete Davidson. I was saying that he's guilty. You're guilty. Also, I'm looking great these days, huh? Look at my chest. Look at my abdominals. Also, my little scruffy chin. Looking good, huh? But I'm going to save the rest of these for the next episode. Because the trial still has to happen. It's not over yet. It's not freaking over. Oh, and by the way. Oh, okay. At the bottom of this, it says artist rendition. Brett's abs may or may not exist. No, my abs do exist. No ifs, ands, or buts. No ifs, ands, or abs. They're real, they're there, they're hard. That's right, folks, my abs are hard. So yeah, folks, listen, this has been really fun. I'll be honest, this is the reality of this thing. It's really fun for me to have stuff in the inbox to go off of. 'Cause sometimes I come on the show and I'm like, how am I gonna do anything funny for the first 15? Not funny. How am I gonna do anything interesting for the first 15, 20 minutes of the show till the guest comes on? And this has been a great way for me to keep it interesting. So I don't want to burn through them all, but also the trial can't go on forever. We know this. So we'll say maybe 2 more weeks of the trial. If it resolves, and we'll know that the trial's over when the sketches stop coming in. But if you want to make a sketch, howyoubenshow@gmail.com, you can send it to me, and I'll show it. I'll show it on the show. How about that? Also, you can use this email address just to ask me questions still. It's also the mailbag. So if you got any questions, send them to howyoubenshow@gmail.com. I'll answer those too. It don't gotta just be pictures of the trial. It can be whatever. It can be whatever the hell you guys want it to be. But it's been great. Also, big news. As soon as the trial is over, we are going to re-up the stuff is here. I secured a huge shipment of stuff. That's right, shipment. And so once the trial is over, the thing that I'm planning on doing is transitioning straight into an art exhibit. A little peek behind the Brett the Mott curtain here, folks. When the trial's over, the art exhibit starts back up. And I'll tell you this, there'll probably be pictures of it. Until that shit gets boring, that's what this whole show's going to be. First half can be showing pictures, talking about them. Second half is going to be me talking to somebody. So until you guys start hating that shit and start saying, this is boring, we're over this, shit ain't gonna change. It's just going to stay the same for the rest of the times. But folks, I think it is just about time. I think that it is just about time for you all to meet my friend Swinton. It's going to be a blast. He and I go way back. And it's going to be a real good time catching up with him a little bit in front of you guys. So, everybody just sit tight for a few minutes here. I'm going to jump the break, get Swinton on the line, and then I'll be right back to introduce you all. But yeah, chill out, relax, kick your feet up on your desk or on your ottoman or on your coffee table, wherever the hell you're watching this. Maybe you're laying in your bed on your little laptop. Your laptop's right here. That's fine too, you can do it. However you watch the show, that's fine. I ain't gonna judge you. But just relax for 2 seconds. I'm gonna jump off, get Swinton on the line, and then I'll be right back, all right? BRB. yeah, folks. Back from the break. That one was a little bit longer than normal. A lot of times I just go back, you know? But this is the first time that I talked to Swinton in a long time. So I had to check in for a second. Make sure he's good, you know? That's a little bit peek behind the curtain. That's a little BTS for you guys. We did a little quick catch-up before we got on here. But folks, I'm so excited for you to meet Swinton. This guy, when I tell you he was with me through some of the more formative years of my life, you better believe it, because that ain't no lie or nothing. Junior year of college, we lived together. We got into all sorts of hijinks. So let me quit yapping real quick here, and let me introduce you. Oh, let me make sure that he's on. Hang on. Let me make sure that the thing's working, and it is working. This is great. Folks, let me introduce you to my good friend, Swinton Keller. Swinton, what's up?
Oh, Brett, how you doing, man? Great to see you, man. It's so good to see you.
Swinton, it's so good to see you too, man.
It's so good, man.
I know.
Man,
honestly,
I mean, we were just chatting a second ago. It's so good to see you. Damn, man. It's so good. How are you doing, man?
Man,
it's so good to see you, man.
I've been doing so good, man.
Shit.
Now y'all can see.
Damn it, man. Damn, I am so thrilled, man. Damn. Shit, man.
I know, man.
I can't believe it. I'm seeing you in the cyber flesh. It's nice, just fuck, man. It's all coming back.
I know, man. I was telling these folks
It's all coming back, man.
we went through some crazy times back in the day, man. And I said the second I saw you when you got on the line, I said,
"Oh man, we went through it. We did it, man. I mean, I'm thinking about immediately when I see you, I'm thinking about all the times we had. I'm thinking about that house.
Oh,
I'm thinking about that nasty fucking house, man.
Hey, man.
That piece of shit, man.
Hey, if you didn't live in a shithole in college, then you weren't even going to college is the way that I look at it.
It's a rite of passage, man.
Yeah,
it is really, yeah.
You gotta sleep in a room that has either there's two things that I specifically remember about this house that I think are things that every college kid living in their first house needs to experience. They need to experience a floor that is so dirty that if you don't wear socks, the bottom of your feet look like you've been walking through tar the minute you get out of the shower. The floor's so dirty.
Yeah, even if you're wearing black socks.
Yeah.
Even if you got black socks on, it's going to look blacker than you thought.
Yeah.
It's antimatter kind of shit on the floor. You know what I mean?
It's that paint color that the guy invented that he was like, no, nobody else can use it, or you got to pay a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
It's that kind of dirty. It's that dirty. It's so disgusting. And the second thing.
That's one you were saying.
The second thing is you got to have a shower that is a bathtub that is full of empty soap and conditioner and shampoo bottles because none of your 5 roommates throw away the thing when they're done with them.
No one's throwing away the Pert Plus.
No.
It's empty. It's been empty for weeks.
Yeah.
No one's throwing it away.
And if you're like
That's
me,
it, man.
if you're
All
like
them
me,
sulfides getting right into your head.
yeah, and if you're like me, you're taking the cap off, filling the jar up with water, putting the cap back on, shaking it up, and making watered down Pert Plus to make sure that you get every last drop of the stuff out of the container.
Oh yeah, man. You are milking that shampoo. I remember you used to do that, and we used to be able to tell because that hair was longer then. We used to be able to tell the ends started fraying out. You used to be walking around with split ends, man. And we used to. I'm an adult. I'm a grown man. I'll talk about it now. You know, back then I was like, split ends and stuff girls talk about, but I'll talk about it now because I got long hair. You know?
Oh yeah, you do.
I got long hair, and I see it in myself.
Wow, man, your hair is getting long. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I've been
such
growing
long
up for
hair.
7 years. 7 years. Yeah, I just got to this. It's pretty nice, man. I'm really proud of it. My lady loves it.
That's awesome. Oh, that's great. That's great. Have you gotten married? What's going on? What's going on? Did you guys tie the knot?
Yeah, me and my lady got married 5 years ago, and then my
Nice.
guy came into the picture 3 years ago. We started a polyamorous situation.
No kidding.
And that's been a blast.
So you got one of
my lady
both.
and my guy.
Oh,
I got
man.
one of both. It's been a pleasure, man. I mean, I'm telling you, man. I mean, I know it's a little different, you know, in college, you know, back at the house. By the way, we didn't talk about the name of the house. You know it's a bad house when it has a name like it had. You know what I'm talking about? That infamous, everyone on campus knew the name of the house. Not every house has a name.
Yeah. Stinky
this one
Place.
had a name. Yeah.
It was called Stinky Place.
Oh, my God. And we didn't even take that as an insult. We said,
No.
yeah, it's stinky.
It was just the reality. No. Now, can I tell you,
Stinky
Swinton?
Place.
Swinton, I want to tell you this.
There's party at Stinky Place. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. It's great to hear that you're living your truth, man. I mean, honestly, I know,
thanks, man. Thank you.
And I'll tell you this. I had a hard enough time with a wife. Obviously, me and BB got divorced. You remember, I was dating BB back in college. You know her. We ended up getting a divorce.
Y'all broke up?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Nah, hey, you know, sometimes
that sucks, man. Man, I hate that, man. Man, that fucking sucks, man. That sucks. That fucking sucks.
No, you all right?
Fucking sucks, man.
Did you just?
Yeah, I'm good. That's just my dip can.
Okay. Be careful
I
that.
got a dip can.
Wait, hang on.
A drinking can.
Are you dipping and drinking at the same time?
Yeah, I am, man. That's what I do, man. I mean, I fill it up, man. This one's over here. This is my dip can. This is my drinking can.
It feels like
I got the two separated.
It feels like you shouldn't be able to.
Written on it. This says dip on it, so I'm good.
It feels like you shouldn't be able to do those two things at the same time, to be honest.
Hey, I do it both, man. I told you about my lady and my guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess
I got it both, man. I make it happen. I work on every angle all the time, man.
Yeah. But no, that's what I was gonna say is I have had a hard enough time being in a relationship with one person. I can't imagine what it's like to be in what you're saying is a polyamorous sort of committed multiple person relationship.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're all three in it together, you know, and we got room for more because my guy came in a little later, so we didn't, we don't want it to be a situation where he came in with no options. Mm-hmm. You know, he has options to add as well. So, we're okay. Yeah, so we're all good. It's an interesting modern kind of relationship. They don't always love it out here in the boonies where I live, but we love it. We're into it. We're having a blast.
And what I love about it is that you guys don't give a shit. That's
we
what
don't care, man.
And that's what I always loved about you in college. You were the kind of person who you did not give a shit if people thought what you were doing was unusual. You said, "Who gives a shit? I'm happy, so fuck everybody else." And I love that about you.
I appreciate that, man. Those were some dark days sometimes. I had some questions of faith and questions of character back then in college. Changed my major right about 15, 25 times.
Hey,
so it was always kind of difficult. I mean, I literally treated that university like a buffet. I just said, I'll try this, I'll try that, I'll try this, I'll try that. And then it made me sick at the end. But it was a blast, and I remember all that stuff we got to do at Stinky Place. I mean, those kinds of events, the things that we used to do.
Oh man.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you remember when we threw that Valentine's Day party in the middle of July?
Yeah. Remember that? Oh my God. 4th of July. Remember that? That was funny as fuck, man. And people used to come, and they were all confused.
Yeah.
And they said, I don't know what's going on. And we were like, well, just kiss somebody, man. And that got us in some trouble. But we were kings of consent over at the Stinky Place. We were really into it, man. I remember that. I remember that. We called ourselves the kings of consent. Right. Remember that?
Honestly,
that was before our time, too.
I was gonna say I
feel like we were kind of trailblazers.
We were way ahead of our time on that and in that regard, because this, as you know, we're both 50 in our mid-50s, because that's the established lore of the show or of me. We're both in our mid-50s.
So this is 1980, none of your business, right?
Exactly. We were out there.
Business. We're walking around.
Yeah. Oh, it was a beautiful time. It was
Challenger
a really beautiful
just
time.
exploded. We are a wreck. I mean, it's a blast. There's crazy stuff going on.
I remember
and
you
we're
really
just doing what we need to do.
you really took it really hard when the Challenger exploded.
I took 3 months off of school.
I know.
That was a really hard time for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things where something happens and you don't realize you're going to be as affected as you are. And I think everybody in the country was. But I remember people telling me, hey, we're all kind of moving on. It is a tragedy. It's a national tragedy. We're kind of going, you didn't know anybody on that rocket. And it just hit me in a really specific way. And I said, I need some more time. And a lot of my friends stood by me, and you did too, Brent.
Of course. Who am I to say? Who am I to dictate how you feel? I mean, listen.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I reacted in a very cavalier fashion to the Challenger explosion. I
remember I was standing there next to you. I was rocked, and you said, finally, which was a crazy, it was like, finally, like, I don't know that.
Okay. I know that's
so intense to say. Yeah, I'd love to actually get an explanation because, as you know, it affected me a lot.
I know that sounds crazy on the surface, saying finally when a space shuttle explodes, killing many people. But you got to think about it from my perspective. You got to think about it from the perspective of a person. I thought all along going to space was dangerous. And I thought this was finally a time where going to space didn't work out exactly right, and I thought it would make the United States government pause for a moment and think about how they were going to proceed in terms of space exploration, because everything had gone right. There had not been a single space disaster up until that point. A lot of people are going to say, "Well, Apollo 13," and I'll say, "Well, I've seen the movie. They got back.
They made it back.
They made it back.
They made it back, man, in a big way."
And
I mean, look, I appreciate you explaining that.
Yeah,
that cleared a lot of stuff up for me. That's the reason I
that's
actually
a good
haven't
enough
spoken
reason
to you in so long. Even though you were there for me after. Yeah, now that I hear it, I'm good, man. I apologize for being gone for 25 to 30 years of your life.
No, it's okay, man. Wait,
but
is that the reason,
good, man? This is good.
That's the reason
that was one of them. I mean, you were there for me after, and then you kind of got me back into the world. But yeah, it kind of stuck with me, man. I mean, that's a when I used to walk around Stinky Place and I used to see there'd be a couple feelings there.
I've had that happen to me before, where something happens, somebody hurts my feelings.
Yeah,
and I go about my day thinking it's fine, whatever. We talk, everything seems okay. And then a couple days later, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, no, what that person did to me really hurt my feelings. And now it's too late for us to talk about it. So instead of starting that difficult conversation, I completely shut down and I don't look them in the eye anymore. And we stop spending time together and I lose a friend. It's happened to all of us. It's happened to all of us.
Yeah, exactly in that order for me too, every single time.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
I'm glad that didn't happen to us, man. No, it's okay, man. There's a lot of stuff going on back then. I mean, we were having parties, and it's one of those things when you're fucked up all the time, when do you apologize? I can't apologize to you when you're drunk. You're not going to remember. I can't apologize when you're high. You're not going to, take it for truth. You're going to think I'm a little puppet or something. So it's different. It's tough. When you're fucked up all the time, it's different to be sincere. It's hard to be sincere when you're fucked up all the time.
A lot of people watching right now are probably thinking, they're probably thinking, that's it.
Well, yeah.
It feels like you spit a lot. Normally, I feel like when people dip, they just do one little, but it seems like it doesn't sound like you're spitting. It sounds more like you're blowing onto the top of the can, almost like it's a flute or something.
Oh, yeah, I had something. That was actually not related to the spit. I had something in my front tooth. So I was trying to get it out. But I figured trash can's a trash can, you know what I mean?
I guess that's true. I forgot what I was even talking about.
If I was sitting here all of a sudden going, be like, who's this fucking freak? You know, and I'm not a freak. You know,
You're not.
I'm a bisexual businessman in a polyamorous relationship. That's who I am.
No, a businessman.
And that's not freaky.
No,
I'm a businessman.
Yeah, the businessman portion of this is something we haven't talked about. I, of course, you know the story.
We haven't talked about it.
You know the story. When I got out of college, I got into the hardware business and opened up a hardware store. Unfortunately, the hardware store became less than profitable, and I went bankrupt. And it was purchased by someone, and then they hired me back to be a shift manager. That's the full
post,
story.
Man. I read all that on monster.com, man. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry to have heard about
It's
that.
on my resume.
Yeah,
which is posted on monster.com. Wait, which one's Monster? Which one is Monster?
Monster's a business, you know. It's a job. It's a job
posting site. Okay,
I
I mixed it up with GoDaddy in my head, and I realized because I posted.
No way.
I posted
man.
my resume on both. I posted my resume on GoDaddy as well as
you posted it on
Monster.com.
GoDaddy?
I did.
Did you buy a website to just make a resume?
I did. It's just
Wow.
I posted it, and the name of the website is the file name of my resume.com. So it's Demott resume v12.com. And so it's just my resume. It's a PDF of my resume, just right there on the site.
Check that out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you should definitely go check out my resume. If you got any openings, I don't necessarily need work right now, but I would take it if somebody offered it.
Yeah,
but no,
yeah.
What's going on with your business? What did you end up going into? We haven't talked about this.
Well, I've been advertising it. I am a regional sales rep for Impossible Meats. I am one of the basically largest Impossible Meats distributors in the Great Southeast.
You're kidding me.
And it's been really, you know, I will tell you what, every time I get on the phone with somebody else who's an Impossible Meats distributor, they say, you picked the hardest one. And
I was going to say,
I certainly did.
I cannot imagine selling fake meat in the Southeast.
It is really difficult.
I
go
mean,
from Louisiana to Florida, and it is, I would probably say, harder than, you know, making butter into milk. You know, I think that's truly something that, and it's hard because it's hard for me to keep up the act sometimes. Yeah.
I don't mean to rip the analogy part, but turning butter into milk, I believe, is impossible. I believe you once
and therein lies the relation. It's also impossible, is what I'm going through.
I think you could go milk to butter. Man, I was gonna say, I feel like trying to sell impossible fake meat products to Southerners is probably harder than getting them to vote for a Democrat.
Yeah, probably.
But man, that's crazy. I can't believe that. I mean, it makes total sense to me. It makes total sense to me that you would get into sales.
I'll tell you my sales pitch if you want to hear it.
I would love to.
I come right in and I say, hey, okay, pretend like you're a businessman of
already.
You know,
I am.
Work at you run a. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, you are. So this is gonna be easy for you. You run a barbecue place in Fayetteville. Let's say that. Okay,
Great.
Because this is one I just did.
Okay.
So I come in and I say, hey, this place smells like shit.
Excuse me? Is what I'd say if that was me.
I say, okay, you're in character. I say, this place smells like shit.
I
you
disagree.
got all this rotten meat sitting around.
Okay, I don't think I got meat coolers. I got freezers full of meat here. It's all.
Oh yeah,
properly
let me see. I need to see that your meat ain't rotten, buddy.
Well, come back into my walk-in. You could come right back in.
And I'm in. And then I'm in. And then we go into the walk-in. That's a little trick. I go into the walk-in and I look around and I go, oh boy. I say, okay, I don't see any rotten meat.
So
but
you
I see a lot of meat that will be one day.
You offend business owners in order for them to then invite you in to prove that their meat isn't rotten.
Yeah, basically. Well, I say, look, it's going to be rotten someday, and guess what won't ever be rotten? This fucking shit right here. And I say, this is gonna be so fucking good. I say you can put cheese on it, you can put barbecue sauce on it, you can put bread on it. I don't go through the plant-based thing. I don't try to get people. We ain't gonna change the world that way.
Right.
But if I can trick everybody into buying meat that isn't meat, and then I go through the like, this is gonna be a little more expensive, but it's gonna last forever, right? Impossible meat you can store in the freezer. All the, we're not talking about killing cows. I say you don't gotta tell nobody. That's the secret. It's like you don't gotta tell nobody that you switched their meat out with this stuff.
But now,
I love this shit.
Now,
I feel like I'm like a vice cop. I feel like I'm an undercover cop for plant-based options.
But now, here, listen.
That's how I feel.
I'm not trying to rag on nobody's racket. You know that ain't my style. But here's my question.
I know, you don't. Well, that was. I remember that was a shirt you used to wear over at Stinky Place all the time.
I know. I say it all the time.
To rag on nobody's racket.
I say that all the time. It's a phrase that I made up
man.
because I think it sounds good. But here's the reality.
It's good to hear that, man. It's so good to hear that again, man.
Here's my question, though.
Okay. Sorry.
A barbecue restaurant. A barbecue restaurant, it's going to be, ribs, pulled pork, maybe some barbecue chicken, rib tips, all this kind of stuff. Impossible Meat is very specific in its sort of look and texture. It has the sort of look and texture of ground beef. Most barbecue restaurants don't really do ground beef in the first place. So how do you convince these businesses to drop the wide variety of cuts of meat that they sell and to just sell Impossible when there's no way that an Impossible burger could trick somebody who's looking to get ribs?
Okay, so you come to me like that. Usually what happens is here's what they hear. Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Swinton Keller. I'll call you back if I can. Thanks. Leave a message. Bye. And I never fucking do, man. I'm out the door. Once I sell the shit, it ain't my problem, buddy. It ain't my problem, man.
But
I ain't about to do that. That's their fault as a businessman. That's how I tell them that, man. Jesus. So you ain't ever had somebody come into your hardware store and be like, "Hey, these nails are made of wood." Like you ain't never had to deal with that.
Well,
or some sort of shit like that.
I did have a guest on months ago who tried to sell me tools tried to sell me sex toys that were actually tools. So there has been some sort of unusual pitches on the show in the past that I don't know if I dealt with in the way that I think you would, but I don't think, no, that has not ever happened to me. I've never had to deal with this. And I listen, obviously you're doing well for yourself. I can tell by your house. People can't, let me move your little window over. You got a nice set of golf clubs there next to you.
Oh, you see these?
Yeah. That's a nice set there.
Nice.
That's a ping driver. You got a ping driver?
Got a ping driver. This is a wrap shirt. Yeah. This is these are let me see. It's fucking what is this shit? Tailor-Mades. These are my Tailor-Mades.
Tailor-Made. That's a good brand. That's like one of the best.
Brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
It's one of the best.
Good. We got a Titleist wedge over here as well.
Uh-oh. Don't knock it over.
I'm on the golf course every day. It's more of a sign of status, but it's nice to be there.
Yeah. You what's your handicap?
Oh, 13.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a good thing to do. It's nice. It's nice to be away from the lady and the guy, just to get some time to myself.
Yeah.
Between that,
How do you manage?
We got 3 kids, and then guy brought 18 kids into the equation, so we got a lot of stuff going on.
So you got 21 children?
Yeah, well, the 18 are split. He went on kind of an adopting spree.
Oh, okay.
Before I think he's so interesting because he really was trying to find himself for a long time, and for a while he was like, I know I'll find myself through kids, and he just started adopting kind of people left and right, and it feels
yeah, you say
a little
people.
Mia Farrow-esque, you know what I mean?
And you say people.
Adopting people left
Does that? So I'm assuming these aren't all children.
They are not all children. No, they are various stages of their life. But he says they're my little kids.
I mean, listen,
my little kids. One of them, I think, is Oh, we just got one of them a dialysis, so it's like I don't know what's going on with him.
Now, that's there's nothing wrong with this because I think
Sorry, wrong cup. Yeah. Now I gotta wash it out.
Now, I don't mean to harp on the dip and stuff or anything, but I truly do not understand.
Harp, man, you always used to harp on stuff.
I
used to. Remember back when we were in college at the Stinky Place.
Yeah.
You say these Jello shots. These Jello shots aren't Jello. These are jelly beans that you smushed together.
Which they were.
Say caught, man. I tried to run out of the house.
Caught.
I started early, man.
That's your
method in college.
Your approach to conflict is so consistent. If someone questions you, you literally just say ha, and then you run away. It's the most consistent thing about you.
I ain't available. Yeah.
But no, I was going to say, listen, I just got to get to the bottom of this because the logistics of what's going on in your mouth is confusing to me. So with dip, you put the dip underneath your lip here. And then when you're sipping, how does the drink not get dip juice in it?
It does. It certainly does. That is, I've been drinking my dip. I mean, that's why you can't even see it. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not getting in there, Brett.
Well, then what's the point of spitting then if you're just drinking the juice anyway? Is it habit?
Well,
do you just spit out?
A man has enough. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just gotta stop. Sometimes I say this is too much. I'm swallowing too much.
So
that's my partners always tell me that. Hey, you're gonna get hurt someday. You shouldn't be swallowing it like that. And I was, I'm used to it. I'm used to it. This is what I do. And they say you really shouldn't swallow it. It's gonna catch up to you. It's gonna be sitting in there in your stomach. And I was like, I know, but I like it. You know, I built a system up and I live like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it often enough, you probably do develop a little bit of a tolerance for it. I mean, that's like, you know, with like poisons and stuff. If you do a little bit of poison every day, the poison don't work on you no more.
Yeah, I mean, look, don't go into the bathroom after hour number 2. It smells like a casino in there. It's crazy. It's wild. It's just a wild smell of tobacco.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but it did kind of feel like all 4 of our roommates at Stinky Place really had to own it. Yeah. But I do. If I'm being honest, it does kind of feel
Let's be honest, man.
It does kind of feel like the stink of Stinky Place mostly emanated from one room, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you're coming after me.
You're
talking about Stinky Swinton. You're Stinky Swinton. They used to call me Stinky Swinton. You know that. They used to call me that, man, and it's true. I mean, I have a stink about me.
You do, and I think we're coming to the realization here that it is probably due to the amount of dip juice that you ingest.
Yeah, I mean, I've been dipping. I dipped well before Stinky Place. You know, whatever happened to those roommates? By the way, man, you talked to those 4 dudes ever?
No. By the way, folks,
or those 2 other dudes?
No. No. Well, it was 2 dudes,
was it
but
4 of us and.
It was the 2 of us.
There's so many people coming in and out of that place. Sometimes I'm like, do you live here or do you just hang out here?
Well, that's what I was going to say. We had 2 roommates, but both of those roommates, it was the 2 of us plus 2, but both of those guys did that thing that you do sometimes when a friend is like, oh, I'm coming to town for a little while. Do you mind if I sleep on the couch for a little bit? And then these guys never left. So it was kind of, we had these 2 roommates who weren't really paying rent. They weren't really like sort of roommates. They were just sleeping on the couch in the chair, and we never had to we never had the heart to tell them to get the hell out of there. So it was 6 people in a 4-bedroom house.
Hard, man.
And it was tough.
Place.
But that's college.
What it was, man.
That's the third thing. That's the third thing on the list of a college house. If you are in a house in college and you got the right number of people for the number of rooms that you got in the house, you might be in college. You might not be in college. Or wait, hang on. Let me do it. I'm gonna do it. I mean,
let's clarify.
I'm gonna do this one so that people can clip it. This is my new Jeff Foxworthy joke. If you,
I love him, man.
I can tell. If you,
Can you tell?
I can tell. If you got more roommates than you got bedrooms in your house, you might be in college. That's my
You might be in college.
That's my new setup joke premise that I'm gonna do a whole album about. It's gonna be called "You Might Be in College," and a lot of people are gonna say, "Brett, it's a little late for you to do an album called "You Might Be in College." But I say, listen, we've all had the experience. It doesn't matter when it sort of sinks in. I just thought of the joke, man. So it has to happen now. I don't want to waste it.
You're a Renaissance man. You're gonna release a comedy album. I'm proud of you, man. That's exciting. You always commit to that kind of stuff, making new things, doing new stuff. That's exciting to hear, man. You still got
Swinton,
ambitions like that.
When you're a guy like me who struggles to make money in any capacity, you kind of got to throw literally everything you could possibly ever know at the wall, spaghetti wise, and see what sticks. Because honestly, it's tough. It's a tough life out there, you know. Obviously, you're doing pretty well for yourself. You got a wonderful polo shirt on. You look like $1 million.
Yeah,
so I'm sure.
Well, I can't complain. I got a polo shirt. I got golf clubs. What more could I want?
Yeah,
you know,
you got beautiful long hair.
It's really awesome. I got beautiful long hair, but like I said, you know, everyone says that looks be amazing. You know, I reiterate, I started growing this in 2014. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, so. Hard work takes patience, and I tell my kids that, and I tell my guys' kids that too, and I tell my guys' adults too. It is important to remember that it takes patience. I want to talk about them guys though, the guys that we used to live with. I just want to remember their names because it's hard for me to remember.
Well,
was it
Sawyer? Sawyer was the guy who lived in the master bedroom. Sawyer lived in the master bedroom.
Fucking Sawyer, rich parent Sawyer. I forgot about Sawyer.
Mm-hmm. And then it was Toad.
He was the one that always used to say, "Oh, you're messy, you're messy." Yeah, and then I saw him take a shit in the freezer. Yeah. And
then Toad.
Toad? Is that what you said?
Toad. Yeah. Toph?
Toad.
Well, his name was Toph, but his nickname was Toad because when he would sleep, if you ever came to our house while Toph was asleep, you would think that we had a pond full of frogs in one of the rooms because his snore was just disgusting. Oh, yeah. It was this like wet, slimy frog sound that I will never forget. So we called him Toad, but his name was Toph. I ain't talked to either of those guys ever. I mean, now that their names have come up, they may end up on the show sometime because I want to go look into them to see what they're up to.
Man.
But
I hope so, man.
I haven't talked to him since.
You know, it's so funny, man. I feel like I look back and I'm like, we were the grossest men that have ever existed, and it is so exciting to grow up and to change and to grow and to potentially have a new future ahead of us.
I mean, that's the truth, man. I mean, as you know, you called it out before, but I of course cut my hair recently, like in the last couple of years. You remember it used to be much longer than this, and I thought that was a turning point
for
me.
The shaman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I used to sometimes wrap my hair around my body like a shirt. If I was or if I
remember that.
Or if I was in the shower and I forgot a towel, I wouldn't wash my hair, and then at the end of the shower, I would just use my hair as a towel. I'd wrap it around me. It was crazy.
Great. And do you remember there was that one time where you were sitting down in the shower or something, and those pipes were so fucked up in that house. I remember I turned on the sink, and I was like, "What's this little piece of? What's this?" And I started pulling, and I heard upstairs, "Ah, your hair!
Yeah, my hair went down
the pipes.
My hair went down the bathtub drain, and came out of the sink in your bathroom. Was it the kitchen?
Yeah, we had to call the landlord.
Yeah,
remember? It was in the kitchen.
Yeah,
we had to call the landlord.
Yeah, because at that point, my head, I was stuck.
Brett's stuck in the pipes. Brett's hair's stuck in the pipes. We need you to come out. That was embarrassing.
And
man.
The landlord said to
me
me when he got there, he said, "Good, now I don't have to pay for a snake." And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
That's crazy, man.
That's like,
he was fucking weird.
He was weird as hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Man, he was really
I
weird.
didn't like him.
Yeah, I didn't like him either. I've never liked a landlord. Never once met a landlord that I thought was cool.
Really?
Not once. Not once in my whole life. I can't think of a single landlord.
My lady
who's
was
done
my
it.
landlord first. That's how we met. So I found one. There's one that I liked.
Well, hey, I'm glad that it worked out for you. It's never happened for me, but I think that's. Are you okay? Did you just miss? Did you just forget which?
I'm trying to decide which to do. Trying to figure out which one I need to do right now.
Well, geez, I mean, Swinton, it's about time for me to call it here, man. But it.
Oh man.
But it was a real pleasure talking to you. Honestly, nothing makes me happier than how happy you were to see me. I'll be honest.
It was great to see you, man.
To this day,
so nice, man.
I've never brought someone on camera and had such a long moment of them being so happy to see me, and it just made me feel so good inside, man. It really did.
It was so nice to see you, man. It's a pleasure, man. Truly and for real.
Yeah,
it's
man.
so nice to see you. And it's so nice to hear you're doing well. I hope, tell Pete Davidson I love King of Staten Island, by the way. He is so good in that. And I didn't know he does law either. He's so versatile, and it's like really exciting to hear when you hear people can do a bunch of things well.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I think he's a better lawyer than he is an actor. So that's handsome.
I've got to see that, man, because I think he's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Really?
That's
of all time?
Really amazing, man.
Wow. I don't think there's a single person on the planet Earth who has ever said that sentence. I don't. But
one of them.
One of
them. He's in my top two.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's in your top two. Who's the other one?
Can't decide. The other one? Gary Marshall.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you can't decide which your other one is, but you knew that there was one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I knew who it was.
Okay,
Sorry.
Gary Marshall. Gary Marshall and Pete Davidson are Swinton Keller's two favorite actors.
I'm two faves. I don't like his directing, but I love his acting.
Oh man. Well, Swinton, it was a real pleasure talking to you, man. And I'll definitely keep in touch with you now. It's now that we've cleared the air on the whole Challenger misunderstanding. We don't have any conflict anymore. So hopefully we can keep in better touch than we have over the past few years.
Likewise, man. You're more than welcome to come out whenever. We live in a big house.
I imagine so. If there's 23 people living there.
Yeah. It's a bit of a compound right now. But let me know. I mean, if you come out, I'll make sure to sell a bunch of Impossible Meat in advance so we can go out and have a big night out.
Oh, that sounds great.
I'm living patty to patty sometimes, but I can make it happen.
All right. Well, Swinton, it was great chatting with you, man, and I will see you real soon, I hope, man.
Likewise, man. Great to see you, man.
It's great to see you too, man. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Great to see you, Brett. Hey, stay good, man.
I will,
Peace
buddy.
and love.
Peace and love to you. Oh, Swinton Keller, folks. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of How You Been with Brett DeMott and my guest, Swinton Keller, my old college roommate in Stinky Place. That was the name of the house that we lived in. But folks, thanks so much as always for tuning in as you do every week. I really appreciate it. Thank you everybody who gifted some subs. Patterson Music hit us with another gifted sub. Bob hit us with a gifted sub as well. Couple donations already. If you don't mind, if you like the show, folks, I like to pay my guests when I get them on the show. Because it makes it feel good to pay them for their time. So if you could throw $1 into the donation jar, that'd be really appreciated. Any money that gets donated goes straight to the guests on the show. So if you type !donate into the chat, you can donate with PayPal or credit card or whatever. Even $1 is helpful. But if you can't donate, that's fine as well, folks. You can watch the fucking show. You can be here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, as always, for more episodes. I will be back next week with more pictures from the trial. Also, some big news. My producer John wanted me to come on and let everybody know that pretty soon he's probably going to start streaming again. So he'll stream video games here on the channel again. He's not sure exactly when it'll happen, but it's feeling like it's going to happen soon. Because the things that he was doing that were keeping him from doing that very much aren't going to happen no more. He didn't tell me all the details, so that's just all I know. I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe in a couple of weeks. But he'll probably get back on here. Maybe not 3 times a week, he said, but definitely more consistently because he enjoys doing that and he'd be glad to get back on here. But folks, please, like I said, if you could donate, that'd be great. If not, please just follow the channel, subscribe if you can. You can use your Twitch Prime subscriptions. That's fucking free for you if you got an Amazon Prime. But any money that you put towards the channel goes into paying guests and making sure that I can keep doing this show for the foreseeable future and get the good, great, awesome guests that I get every week. But folks, thank you so much, as always, for watching. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. Wouldn't do this show if there wasn't always people in here watching. So thank you so much for making it worth my time. And until next time, Brett out.